Welcome back to another reading and correcting with me, Kindar, the Tiger Knights, and Ty, the Tiger Supervisor. These are where I read a chapter from one of my stories and correct it as I go. If you want to listen to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch. And if you want to support me, that is on my Patreon. Today we are doing chapter 7 of Once Broken. Alex's opinion of DataSafe, the company who had the security contract for the building he was targeting, went up as he encountered so much security trying to get into their system that he'd need one of Tristan's computer to manage it. Only for that opinion to drop right back down when he found the incoming data line from the building security feed on the open net. All that work to keep him from getting in, and they gave him access to the feed itself. Hadn't they heard of the closed net? Of camouflaging the transmission as something else? They tried to hide where it originated from by running it through multiple nodes, but that only meant it took Alex an extra minute to trace it, and each node was a point where he could manipulate the data. He picked 3 and inserted programs that would remove their presence from the feed. Then he went over everything, looking for indication another security company was hiding behind this one, hoping to go unnoticed. There wasn't one. Sloppy. There wasn't one. Sloppy. He backed out of the network, removing any trace he'd been there, and leaned back in his chair. He saw the nutrient bar next to the terminal. Where had that come from? Jacoby was at a table, looking over a 4 datapad there. He searched his pocket. His datapad wasn't there. Is that your work? He asked the man, grabbing his datapad off the table. Jacoby shook his head. Not yours either. Not you either, then. The datapad contained a list of construction equipment, some highlighted with words he didn't understand next to them. The script looked like what he'd seen on the house and on other buildings in that area. Another datapad on the table had a list of chemicals with Tristan's writing next to them. A mix of SpaceGov standard and that Somalian script. Was Tristan losing his language skill? He hoped not. He was already difficult enough to handle. I've been in the network since you left. So this is Tech's work. His name is Tristan, and do you know anyone else who's aware of what we're doing? Alex let derision slip in his voice. If Jacoby was going to ask a stupid question, he was going to have to deal with being treated like an idiot. Jacoby threw him an annoyed look, which Alex ignored. I think he's trying to help, the man said, but he isn't thinking clearly. He pulled a map from another datapad. Alex recognized the schematic of the target building. I'm not sure if that's even a language, but those are structural columns, indicated those that had an X beside them. I think those marks are where he thinks the explosives should go, which shows he's out of it. We'd need 3 times that what you ordered to try to destroy them all at to destroy them at a distance. But at least he's found the structural points. It saves me having to figure those out. So it could be zoomed out from the building and angled it. Oh, that's 14th floor. All of them corporate offices of one sort or another. Alex nodded. We destroy the column and it brings the entire building down. Even if that doesn't destroy the equipment there, it's going to be buried under so much debris it will meet the requirement for having completed the job. Alex, what about the people in there? Alex looked up from the map, trying to understand what Jacoby meant. Don't you care this is going to kill anyone working? No. He went back to studying the layout. You said you have experience with explosives. Do you need to destroy all those columns to bring the building down, or is Tristan being thorough? Jacoby didn't answer. Alex looked up. The men were staring at him. If collateral damage is a problem for you, I suggest you leave. Maybe you've been out of the life too long. I'm not leaving. But this has nothing to do with being a merc. This is about being a mass murderer. These people haven't done anything wrong. Neither have the Somalians the corporation is forcing into slavery or displacing against their will. Is this what that's about? Saving them? No, it's about doing the job. I'm just pointing out that those people aren't innocent. They enable the system that allows it to happen. Not that I care if they are innocent or not. There's no way to get them out without warning Leisure Tech of what we're planning. So how about you focus on it and answer my question? Jacoby looked at the map. It borders on overkill, but the advantage is that if one of the columns isn't destroyed by its explosive, the added stress on them ensures they still crumble. Alex indicated the pack on the floor. So those will be enough? I didn't recognize all the brands, but I'm guessing Tristan. Tristan, Jacoby continued with exasperation in his voice, got you in the habit of only using the best. Yes, but Jeff Del Biro doesn't carry those. We have the best of what he did have. In that case, we want to focus on those 12 columns. Make sure they come down. If we have anything left, we weaken the 4 others to ensure they can't support anything. Can 4 columns support that building? No, but if one remains standing, it would protect the equipment around it. Alex nodded, picking up the fourth data pad. Where did this come from? Did you have an extra one? No, and you mean these two? Jacoby indicated the one with the map as he took his out of a pocket. I figured you and Tristan had more than one. Alex shook his head. Had Tristan gone out? He opened the door to Tristan's room. It was a mess. The bed had been shoved against a wall. The content of the pack spread on the floor, with Tristan on his knees going through them as he put them back in. As he watched, Tristan became agitated, looking through what was on the floor. He grabbed the pack, upended it, scattered what fell, and relaxed as he saw something there. Tristan noticed him and hurried to put a small case in the pack. Alec only had time to notice Somalian script on it. I'll be ready. Don't worry. I'll keep up. He growled at the empty chair. Of course I'm fine. I just said so. He rolled his eyes. Yes, I have it. What do you take me for? He caught Alex looking at the chair, and his ears folded back in what Alex thought was shame. He knew there was no one there, Alex realized. He knew it was an hallucination. That was an improvement, wasn't it? Alex crouched before him, and Tristan clutched the pack tighter to his chest. Alec looked at the scar on his collarbone, the reminder of just how wrong things were. When did you last sleep? Tristan's eyes grew wider. On the ship? He hesitated a little. He'd been afraid of that. The bed was a mess, but the sheets were still on it. Tristan never slept on beds. They didn't have bedrolls, so he would have done what Alex had, folded the sheets until they approximated a bedroll and laid that on the floor. They'd been on Somalia for 2 full days now. His time with the medical bed had been spent sedated while his system was cleansed and in cryo. Neither of those were restful. A little sleep on the ship. How many months before that in a drug-induced craze? How restful had that been? Tristan could function with little sleep, but after that, he couldn't be this alert. Alex motioned for him to hand over the pack. Without help. Tristan clutched it tighter. Don't force me to wrench it from your hands. Alex, resignation as he handed it over. The case in it had the universal symbol for stimulant along with Somalian writing. He opened it. It contained injector cartridges. 2 of them were missing. Are you insane? He asked, his tone cold with anger, even as he realized the stupidity of the question. After everything I went through to get you out of there, to make sure your system was clean, you go and put more drugs in them? Tristan looked at him, terrified. Answer me! He jerked back away. I dream when I sleep. Alex waved with the case. And you think these are a good idea? Where's the injector? Tristan's gaze flicked to the floor and Alex saw it. He pocketed it. Alex, I need them. They're just dreams, he snapped, sending Tristan against the wall. You don't understand. You don't understand. They come. They aren't real. I know. Tristan pulled his knees to himself and wrapped his arm around them. He looked at the empty chair. I know, Alex. It doesn't help. I can't stop them by myself. Alex closed his eyes and forced himself to remember Tristan was broken, that they were here to fix him. Yelling wouldn't help, but it felt like nothing helped. When did you get them? He asked calmly. Last night, after the house. They'd returned to the shuttle, flown here, and Jacoby had gotten them accommodations. Alex had gone in the net to gather information as Jacoby had gone to bed. It would have been then, while he was unaware of what went on around him. Did you kill anyone? Tristan shook his head, as if the admission shamed him. We're almost done here. Soon you'll be yourself again, but until then, you need to rest, Tristan. Maybe once you're rested, you'll stop hallucinating. Of course, he knows you're not real, Tristan told the chair. I do too. He glanced at Alex, then closed his eyes. When he spoke, it was pained. I just forgot, okay? If you'd shut up, I'd be able to think and I'd remember you aren't real. With sleep, you'll be able to think properly. But the dreams! Alex glared at him, making him look away. He wanted to go to him, hug him, offer him comfort, give him anything he needed so his pain would go away. He buried that desire under cold anger. To do that to him would be to admit this Tristan didn't exist anymore. And he wasn't ready to do that. He'd never be. His Tristan didn't want comfort. He was hard, strong. He wouldn't become that again by being cuddled. Tristan nodded. All right, I'll sleep. Alex stood and headed out the room, closing the door. He wanted to trust him. Tell me you have sedatives in your pack. Powerful stuff. He spoke softly. Jacoby looked at the door. Whatever the medic left of what she brought for him is in your pack. What's wrong with him? I mean, other than talking to himself? He's taking stims. He looked at his pack off the table. He took his pack off the table and searched through it. Again? It took a moment for Alex to remember all the stim vials that had littered the ship when he'd woken up on Therion 2. He found 3 cases that he hadn't put on it in his pack. Why not those ended up there? Had Mary put them in when he'd left her alone to get her payment? He's only had 2 doses since last night, so I'm hoping one of this will be enough to get him more stable. This is going to give us time to finalize the plan because we're not moving until he's properly rested. If you're dosing him, why not do the job while he's out? Because I don't know how long this is going to keep him under. He's built like a tolerance to a bunch of drugs over his life, so nothing affects him as hard as they should. He pulled the door open, expecting to find Tristan on the other side listening to them, not lying on the folded sheets on the floor by the bed. He looked up as Alex closed the door. He watched warily as Alex approached and crouched. What's that? Tristan asked, indicating the injector in Alex's hand. A sedative, to help you fall asleep. It isn't ideal, but it'll ensure you get some rest. I don't need it, Alex. I'm going to sleep. See, I'm all set up, indicated the sheets under him. Alex nodded. You said you're afraid of sleeping. This is going to ensure it happens quickly. I thought you didn't want me to use drugs anymore. This isn't the same and you know it. Tristan snorted. You don't trust me. Alex smiled. You know that isn't true. Then just let me do this myself. We don't have the time. There's a job to do and I need you rested for it. Give me your arm. You don't have to. Tristan, give me your arm, he ordered. He softened the stone as he placed the injector against the inside of Tristan's elbow. This isn't about trust. It's about ensuring the job gets done properly. Once the vial was empty, he pocketed it. Tristan snorted, rubbing the spot. If you trusted me, you wouldn't have done this. His speech was already slurry. Alex watched him and fought the desire to lie next to him, to bury his face in his fur and sleep with him. he stood. To do that would be to lie to himself. It wasn't what he'd have when his Tristan was back. So he shouldn't make it any harder on himself. When Tristan's breathing slowed, he stood and laughed. He looked at the datapad on the table, trying to go over everything that still needed to be done before the job. You should go to bed too, Jacoby said. This can wait until you've slept. Alex started to protest, but Jacoby was right. Dealing with Tristan had taken more than he'd expected. A few hours of sleep, and he'd get back to work. And that concludes Chapter 7 of Broken Once Broken. If you are enjoying this, please leave a like. If you want to know when the next chapter is going to be up, subscribe, hit the bell. If you want to read the book as well as the others in the series, they are available from all major e-retailers. If you are looking to support me, that is on my Patreon, where you can also get access to just about everything else I've written. And if you are looking to listen to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch. The links are in the notes, and with that, I shall wish you a good day.